No one expected Sam Heughan to walk into the studio with such a heavy expression. He usually carried a bright presence wherever he went, confident, charming, effortlessly warm. But today, his shoulders were tense, his eyes dimmer than usual, and the energy around him felt different. Even the host sensed it immediately, softening her tone as she greeted him. Then Sam inhaled slowly and said the words that froze the entire room. "There's something I've hidden for years, and I can't keep it inside anymore." The atmosphere shifted instantly. The audience fell silent, the crew exchanged glances, and fans watching the livestream flooded the chat with frantic comments. Everyone could hear it, the tremble under Sam's voice, the pain he was fighting to steady. This wasn't a PR stunt or a rehearsed emotional moment. It was something real, raw, and years overdue. The host, visibly taken aback, asked gently if Sam was sure he wanted to continue. He nodded, staring down at his hands before lifting his gaze to the camera. "People think they know everything about me," he said quietly. "But the truth is, they've only seen the parts one felt safe showing." He paused, swallowing hard, as though the weight of the confession was pressing against his chest. Sam began explaining that this hidden truth didn't start recently. It began long before Outlander, long before fame. "I learned early on to hide what I was feeling," he admitted. "In this industry, vulnerability can be dangerous." He revealed that, for years, he carried something deeply personal that shaped his decisions, his relationships, and even his performances. The host leaned closer, sensing the enormity of what he was about to share. He spoke about the early days of Outlander, when he was under immense pressure to embody Jamie Fraser perfectly. Fans adored Jamie's strength, courage, and emotional openness, everything Sam felt he himself was failing to live up to. "Jamie was everything I wasn't," Sam said with a bitter laugh. "And the more people loved him, the more ashamed I became of the parts of me I couldn't show." The audience reacted with soft murmurs of empathy. Then he revealed that his hidden truth had caused him sleepless nights and overwhelming anxiety during the first seasons. There were mornings he stared at himself in the mirror, wondering how long he could keep pretending to be unaffected. "I wasn't fine," he said. "I just became very good at acting like I was." He admitted that even his closest friends didn't know what he was dealing with. The host asked gently if anyone on set had noticed something was wrong. Sam hesitated, then nodded. "Katrina did," he said softly. "She always did." He explained that one day during season 1, she found him sitting alone behind the set, trying to steady his breathing. She didn't ask questions. She just sat beside him in silence until he could pull himself together. "She saw through me when no one else did," he added, his eyes glistening. He described how that moment became the beginning of a silent understanding between them. Whenever he was overwhelmed, Katrina would find subtle ways to ground him. A gentle touch on the shoulder, a joke at the perfect time, a quiet look that told him he wasn't alone. "But even then," Sam said, "I never told her the real reason I was struggling. I couldn't." The pain in his voice made fans watching feel their hearts tighten. As the livestream continued, Sam revealed that his hidden truth nearly surfaced several times over the years. During interviews where he froze mid-sentence, during filming days when the emotional weight of the scenes felt too real, during press tours where he smiled through exhaustion. "The world saw confidence," he said. "But inside, I was falling apart." The comment section exploded with messages of support and heartbreak. Finally, Sam looked back at the host with a trembling breath. "I think fans deserve honesty," he said. "You've given me so much love for so many years. You should know the truth of what I've been carrying." He didn't reveal the secret yet, not fully. But his tone made it clear that something profound, painful, and deeply personal was coming. Before the segment ended, he offered one last haunting line. "If fans knew what I was hiding all this time, they'd understand why I couldn't say it sooner." And with that, the world waited, breathless, emotional, terrified to hear the truth Sam Heughan had carried alone for so many years. When Sam returned to the studio after a short break, the entire world seemed to be holding its breath. Fans across continents waited for the confession he had carried alone for so long. The host welcomed him back with a soft, reassuring smile, but Sam didn't return it. He sat, exhaled shakily, and whispered, "I think it's time to tell the truth, all of it." And that was when the room fell completely still. Sam began by revealing that the secret he had hidden wasn't about romance, scandal, or fame. It was something far more personal, something that shaped him long before he ever stepped into the role of Jamie Fraser. "For years," he said, "I struggled with crippling self-doubt and a fear that I wasn't enough." He explained that behind his confident exterior lived a constant battle with anxiety he never felt allowed to show. Fans watching felt their hearts crack. He admitted that from the outside, his life looked perfect: success, admiration, global recognition. But inside, he felt like he was desperately trying to catch up with the expectations the world placed on him. "When people told me I was strong," he said, "I felt like a fraud." This pressure grew heavier with each passing season, especially as the intensity of Outlander's emotional demands increased. Then Sam revealed the moment that forced him to confront the truth he'd buried for years. During a particularly grueling season, he experienced a panic attack minutes before filming one of Jamie's most emotional scenes. "I couldn't breathe," he recalled. "My hands were shaking. I thought I was going to faint." But instead of asking for a break, he walked onto set, swallowed the panic, and delivered the scene as if nothing was wrong. The host, visibly moved, asked Sam who helped him through that moment. Sam looked down, his voice softening. "Katrina," he said. "She didn't know what was happening, but she knew something wasn't right." After filming, she quietly followed him off set, waited until everyone had left, and asked him, "Sam, what's really going on?" That was the closest he had ever come to revealing the truth. He described how he almost told her everything that night: the years of anxiety, the pressure he felt to be perfect, the fear that one day fans would see through him. But the words wouldn't come. "I didn't want to burden her," he said. "She already carried so much." Instead, he told her he was tired. She didn't believe him, but she didn't push. She simply placed her hand on his arm and stayed beside him until he could breathe again. Sam explained that this wasn't the only time the truth almost surfaced. During interviews, he sometimes froze when questions felt too emotional. During fan events, he felt overwhelmed by the love he didn't believe he deserved. "People think it's easy to be admired," he said. "But for me, it was terrifying." His honesty washed over the audience with heartbreaking clarity. The turning point, he revealed, came last year when a fan approached him with tears in her eyes and said, "Your character saved my life." Sam hugged her, thanked her, and walked away feeling shaken. "I realized I was hiding the very thing that could help people feel less alone," he said. "If I wanted fans to be honest about their struggles, I had to be honest about mine." That realization led him to today, to this confession that he had avoided for nearly a decade. "I'm not Jamie," he said quietly. "I'm just a man who tried his best to be strong when he didn't feel strong at all." His voice cracked, and he wiped his eyes with the back of his hand. The vulnerability, unfiltered and unperformed, stunned even those who thought they knew him well. The host asked him what he hoped fans would take away from his revelation. Sam looked into the camera with a steadiness that hadn't been there before. "I hope they understand that being vulnerable doesn't make you weak," he said. "It makes you human." He finally allowed himself a small, fragile smile. "And I hope they know I never hid this because I didn't trust them. I hid it because I was scared." In the final moments of the interview, Sam delivered the sentence that instantly went viral worldwide. "I hid the truth because I thought it made me broken, but now I know it only makes me real." The studio erupted into quiet applause, the livestream chat filled with tears and love, and fans everywhere held their hearts as if they were holding his. After years of silence, Sam Heughan had finally spoken, and the world cried with him.